about the press kit.
Yeah.
I know, like, because I've sent some stuff to, like, blogs or radio station, online radio stations stuff.
Right.
And
Internet
radio stations. And some of them actually want like a CD. They don't. So sometimes it's good to ask them.
That's good.
And would you prefer the online press kit where you could download it, or do you want a CD? And I want a CD. I really want the CD. Okay.
They want full-blown AAIFF files. That's the deal. They want high quality. It's the same as an image, like if they're going to print that image and it's 72 DPI, which is equivalent to an MP3 online that they're downloading for their station, and, the quality's a little low, that station probably wants a full-blown audio CD to upload to their server to get better quality. It's probably what the deal is. Much like a JPEG, they want 300 DPI.
Jay, I have a question as
Yeah.
well. If you already have material, like when we have it up on sites such as Reverb Nation, you have an entire album on eMusic or iTunes, it's still the same thing, right? Like, in essence, I can send a disc to the station, and I can say it's available electronically to all these.
I would, and I would also put that on the one sheet, also available at.
Right.
Just real clear, simple links, And preferably have copyrights online, because you might get paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And which, we had to talk about copyright. That was a little bit longer and really detailed, but really, after you've done all the copyright, you're able to collect on all this. This is the next phase, soliciting all those copywritten demos, because you want to get paid, you want to get your eyes picked. It'll happen.
You think you can touch up a little bit on the copyright, just a very simple,
Sure.
There's a few people here that weren't here.
Copyright.gov is the website that you visit to obtain copyrights of your material. I highly suggest it. It's the first thing you should do as a musician that's new, that's putting out original material. Erica, I'm sure y'all get copyrights on y'all's material, because they're putting out great CDs, they're making shows happen, they're getting places, and when you put out that kind of quality of product, you want to own it, because you don't want someone else copying it or doing other things with it. You need to make sure that every time it gets played at Starbucks, or it gets played at HEB, or it's getting played on the radio, you collect. And so, copyright.gov is the website. Yes, sir.
Does that tie in with BMI? Music publishing?
Sure. That's the second phase. That is, that's how you get royalties. They're a performance royalty organization, a PRO is what they're called. But before you do that, you need to have a copyright. You know what I'm saying?
It takes years for royalties.
Not necessarily.
I get quarterly.
If you move fast enough and you register, so this is what you want to do. Here's an example. You write a song, right? It's my song. That's what we're going to call it. It's my song. So I write my song. I go to copyright.gov. I create a profile, and we talked about this last time. It's just like getting onto MySpace. It's just like getting onto Facebook. You log in, you follow the instructions, you create JJ Lopez's copyright profile. And every time I want to copyright something, I have to log in, and fill out the form. Now the form can be a little crazy, and it gets a little heavy, and trying to figure out, well, what do I have, what do I have? But if you really take your time and you read the material, it'll walk you through it. But just know that there's two kinds of copyrights that you want to get. I wrote my song, right? And I'm submitting my song for its lyrical content, because I wrote it, and for the melody. It's got this cool tune. And I put a little bit of music on it, right? But mostly I'm interested in the song itself. So I get a copyright on that. It's my song. And I'm going blank right now. We went over this. But there is one for just simple written words, lyrics and things like that, okay? When I turn around and I get the band together, and this is my band, and my band performs my song, I'm going to go back and get another copyright on it as the band. And that's a sound recording. And that's the one that's going to go out and get played and get airplay and all that, right? But when you look at it, on the CD, it says my song, and right below it, it says JJ Lopez. That means I'm collecting it. And that's what you want. So you want to make sure you get your copyrights as the lyrics, as the song, and then as the band's performing it as well, the sound recording. If another band comes around, Ernesto's band, and Ernesto's band says, I want to cover my song. Well, then Ernesto's band would cover your song. They could not get a lyrical copyright on it. That belongs to you. But they could get a sound recording copyright on it. So it's Ernesto's band doing my song. That's their sound. It gets a little heady. I don't want to get too into it because the last time I was here till 9 o'clock at night. But check it out. It's not that difficult. You just read it. But it's important that you do it because you don't want to put a really good slamming tune out there and you're like, man, that's hot. And you put it out on iTunes or it's out somewhere, and next thing you know, you're at a show and someone's doing your song and they're like, well, we got the copyright song. And that's the kind of thing you want to avoid. Where does this uphold? At the end of the day, if you had the money and you're like, I'm going to sue this person, and you took it to the legal courts, that's really what we're talking about. Legal court is going to say who's got the copyright. If it went to that.
Like hip hop artists, and there's a couple in the room.
Sampling?
Sampling. Yes.
Sampling is real.
Okay, so you give a portion, the copyrights, of course, to the original holder of the copyright. And then, where does it put it from there?
To some degree, you have to get a license on that, which is basically permission to use X amount of seconds of this song. Because he has the original lyrical copyright or the sound recording on that material. You're going to put it into your sound recording, right? You need to ask permission, you know. Like Ernesto wants to cover his song, he has to get permission. That's a licensing contract. You know? That's what sampling is.